Welcome to the podcast. It's your boy Naive Productions, and this is Austin, and this is Delay, and this is the podcast, and this is number 2, baby.
This is
That
not the
took
podcast to be excited on.
Yeah, this is actually kind of a sad podcast.
That took you
Look at my
like
blue
a
eyes.
long time to get the name out, didn't it?
Don't talk about that. That's rude. You calling me out? All right. Anyway, in other news, since Austin's a bitch, this podcast is actually about the journey to the insane asylum in Milledgeville and what happened afterwards. And I'll let Austin pick up for no. I'll let Dejan pick up for the first story. Start off with the idea. Start off with the day that you
Okay.
just.
The day I sent you the Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was sitting, as a matter of fact, I was sitting like right here, scrolling through Facebook, and I saw something about like an abandoned building called Central State Hospital. And like 2 days before, me and Nathan were like talking about like you just going to random places and filming it as
We've
like a
already
series.
done that before. We've been to a few insane asylum, or not insane asylum, but buildings in general, abandoned buildings, to try to do the same thing, but we can never find like quite the right one.
Knowing that he would be down for it, I shared the post to him, and he was like, "Yo, let's go." And I was like 100% down at the time, so I didn't put up any hesitation, and I said yeah, and uh
Anyway, so he sends me this text, and it's just a link, and all it's talking about is like the insane asylum in general, and I never had any idea that we would even have the thought of actually just going, but legit all I said was what would I say? I think I just said a date. I think it was like Saturday or something, and like question mark, and he was just like I'm down. So we're sitting here planning it this whole time, just trying to figure out what we're gonna do. We finally get on the way. We get there, and like it's eerie, man. Like it's foggy when we first get there, but when we get there, like all you hear is like this constant. It sounds like a
like a girl swinging.
yeah, like a girl swinging on like an old but it's from a distance, but it's so loud. It's like she's fat as fuck if she is on that swing. Like she's wearing that fucking swing out. She's just like for fucking like, and it's consistent. Like it's not going away. It ends up going away during us being there though, which was crazy. We're kind of sightseeing for a little while, looking around, just trying to figure out what we're gonna do. We find this window, and you'll probably see in like a clip somewhere around here. We're looking inside the building, and like Dejan, I was thinking we could probably just open up the window and like there was a screen. I was just gonna break that bitch, honestly. It's sketchy. I'm not gonna lie. It looked like it was like maintained. Like the building had lights on. There's like air conditioner running. Like you can hear shit running. Like I don't even know. I can't really describe. It was really industrial sounding. We're kind of arguing about if we're gonna go in or not. Cause Dejan at this point he's like completely like we're not gonna get in, bro. We might as well just leave. And then like I'm just like nah, bro. Let's just get in right here. It ends up not opening. Cause like we're trying our hardest, but like that fucking window is like. It's like welded shut. It's like old as hell, and I don't even think that's probably why they don't close it. Is because legit they can't close it. Walk around for like 30 minutes. I'm finding this door, and basically that's how we got in. I'm not gonna tell you exactly how we got in, but we're in the hallway at this point. This is when we're going through the hallway, and me and Dejan's just looking at each other, just like, yo, we're actually in, bro. Like, I'm on some James Bond shit at this point. Like, I'm full on just like, nah, bro. If there is somebody in here, bro, we're not getting caught, bro. Like, we're full on gonna make sure we're doing this right. And like, we're hearing all types of noises, bro. Like bangs and like fucking. If the video is playing right now, you'll probably see a lot of stuff. Like, it's not really that scary, but it's real eerie, and like you're just the whole time you're just like, ugh. And like, either way, me and Dejan make our way to the staircase, and there's no way up. At this point, we're thinking we're probably not gonna get up. We're just like, fuck it, we should probably just leave. But as I'm leaving, I just hit the elevator button, not thinking that bitch was gonna work. All you hear is, bling, and doesn't it struggles to open. Like, I'm talking about it struggles. Like, it's like fucking sounds like some like Dark Souls giant like iron door just opened. I end up talking Dejan into like wanting to get inside of them. I'm just like, you're a pussy, bro. Let's just do it for the video.
I gotta say, I only had to like ride with y'all up one floor. Y'all went full on balls deep in that bitch.
Fucking
To the top.
To the top.
No, dude.
Yeah, we
that
did
was a
the-
big old.
Yeah, he was like, yo, he's like 4. I was like 4. 4.
it gets to about the third one, and you can hear it just start. It sounds like it's scraping the fucking walls. It's almost like the elevator is almost crooked. And like you hear just, and then it just starts shaking. Like, our weight is even like making it kind of like bounce. And like I'm fucking smashing on the door trying to get it open, and like it finally opens. I just fall out and I like lay down on the ground. I'm just like, never a fucking again will I ever go up in that bitch.
I'm sad because I stopped recording like in the elevator.
Yeah, because we thought we was gonna die at that point.
Yeah.
At that point, I thought it was like, oh well, we're fucking about to die, mate. But we ended up walking around, found this room where I was writing on these job boards. You could hear like, I swear to God, like every few rooms you would hear it sound like someone was like in the hallway. And like it would be like that right until you got into the hallway. Like I'd be opening the door and it would still sound like someone was just like tumbling down the fucking hallway. And like you'd open it and then there'd be nothing. And like all you'd hear is like the same industrial sound that you usually hear. We go down and that's when we first go into like, swear to God, if you've ever played like Outlast or seen Outlast, when you go into that hospital, that's legit what it looks like.
It's like Outlast 2.
It's got like these domes inside of it. So I guess like when the inmates would like, I guess you wouldn't really call them inmates, patients were in the in like their cells, like you could look into it, like you could peek your head all the way into the door and like see inside the rooms. At that point, me and Dejan had felt like we've got pretty much enough because it's like 8 o'clock in the morning. Like the sun's about to rise. It's summertime, so it's not rising as early as it is now. But like, you know, it was getting up pretty, like, you know, it's getting up there. Like it was getting morning time. We're still walking around in parking lots and shit. Like finally get back to the car, and like the shit was mind blowing because like as you'll see in the video, I'm not even describing it as much as the video will show you. But like we ended up deciding that we didn't have enough footage, like that we didn't explore all the buildings, because as we was walking out, you could see, like me and Dejan could see, like there's buildings left and right that were just fucking abandoned with like, oh, and it was like Disneyland to us. Me and him, I don't know how to explain it. We're just into that type of stuff. Like we just like doing that. So like, of course, me being me, I go home and the first person I think that would be completely down would be my boy Austin.
Literally, you didn't even quite hit me up until the day of, bro. It was like, I'm sitting there chilling. We had seen you. Oh, I had seen you in the park. We were sitting there smoking. We were talking about it. You'd showed me like the part of the videos and things like that from your first venture up there. You want to go? And I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. And didn't talk to you for a little minute. All of a sudden, you just pop up the day, bro, and you're just like, yeah, bro. You know, you called me, and it's the middle of the night, basically, and you're like, dude, do you still want to go? And I'm like,
Yo, that was
yeah.
crazy though.
Don't even ask.
We were just like chilling, and at the middle of the night, we're like, yo, let's go again.
Yeah, let's go again.
Well,
Just get the camera. Get the camera. Like me and Dejan were just chilling. Just looked at each other, just like, let's go, bro. Got the camera ready. Put it in the car. Called Austin. He's just like, hell yeah. Picked him up. This trip was a lot more different though. Like it felt like it took longer, first of all, to begin with, and it was also way more eventful. Like I was trying to drive fast in general. But we're driving down the road, and like this is actually pretty close to Millersville. We had a pretty good journey the whole time. Like everything went smoothly. Like we're just talking, chilling, smoking, you know, just being cool. Like we get say like what was it, like 12 miles away, 12 or so miles away. Like fucking deer, mate, right in the fucking road, like big ass deer, bro. Like looked like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like it was just a pile of meat, and like the legs were just sticking out different ways, and like there's still antlers in it though. And like it was just so, like, it just popped up because it was foggy. I hit it and, it was like a speed bump. We just, and I was just like, all right, we're good. We're driving. 4 miles later, I'd say, you just hear as Austin's favorite, famous noise in the last one. What was it? But that's legit how it sounds. So screw. I went to pull over, and I've heard this sound like plenty of times. Me and Dejan, we know this sound way too well. That donut in the back, that's like the glory haven. It's been there, like. It's been there. That car in general's been there for a lot of shit. And, like, we didn't have the jack. That was the one thing that was fucking us over. And cars are just passing us by. And, like, we're sitting there. Me and Austin are talking about million different ideas. All you hear is Deshaun in the back. What if we call a cop and, like, he'll help us? I mean, we're just like... I guess, but we at this moment we legit all have weed on us though. Like we're sitting here just all got sacks and like I'm not gonna say exactly where I put mine. Shout out to Milledgeville or whatever the fuck police force that was. Y'all are trash because like your canine unit, if it couldn't find the sacks that were in there, like Lord, he ends up doing all that. He's just like, all right, y'all could go. We're just like, hell yeah. Boom, Milledgeville. Again, same spot. Parked same exact spot. At this point, we're pretty hyped because my boy Austin's with me, and I'm just like, I know where to go. And, like, going to the, really the asylum this time wasn't all too fun because it's really like the business side of the building, I'd guess, or more of like the offices side. We got into basically every big ass building that was there. That was crazy looking. And like the last one we went to was actually the asylum, like the actual like where they housed the I guess like I don't even know how to say it, like explain it. Like I guess the craziest type of people. I don't know, like just the isolated people that they put by themselves all the time. We had to find all these crazy ways in. Like you'll see in the video, like we had to crawl under the fucking building at one point. We're like, what was it? We were like crawling onto a freaking fire escape to get to the first floor of one of them, just because one of the doors were just swinging open for some reason.
It turns out like we literally could have walked around.
Yeah, legit could have just walked around and there's a door. It was a lot of crazy shit, but like that we ended up finding. But it was crazy. Like that whole adventure was crazy. It's crazy to think about because we're in these buildings and like they're long ass dark hallways, and it's crazy to explain because you think you know what we're talking about, but like it's crazy how vivid it was. Like these long ass white fucking ripped up hallways with writing all on the walls and just they're long as fuck. Like we're walking down them and like all these rooms that we're going in, we end up finding the one in the what was it, the Jones building I think it was, where we found these hallways and like the doors were locked on every staircase, so it's like you had to flip-flop to different staircases to get up to different floors. So it's like you'd have to go to the first floor and then find like the hallway on like say like the east wing, and then like go up that one and then go to the north side and like find that staircase to go up to the second floor.
That was a hard one to get out of.
Yeah, that was a really kind of difficult one to get out of because it was really easy to get mixed up. Yeah, it was pretty nice. Anybody else got any stories you want to talk about? Like how was it for y'all guys? Like how was it for you?
The Jones building was a refreshing experience because at that point I knew that we fucking made it. And I think I even remember telling you, yo, Nathan, we fucking made it.
Yo, Nathan, we fully made it.
And then we walked into the staircase with like red writing, and you said something like, "Oh shit, yeah, no, like come to the grip and get whacked or some shit."
It's like, like gang shit.
Yeah, Austin's like, yo, hold up, this is like some gang stuff, man. I don't think we should go up there. It's like, come to the roof and get whacked. It's raining at this point, by the way, too. It's like, not really like storming, but it's like drizzling outside. So it's like wet outside, nasty feeling. It was actually a refreshing feeling in the Jones building, if I'm not mistaken. That is the same building that had the roof at the top that was ripped out.
No, that was the one across the lot. The Jones building was the one we saw, like, the thing on top. Oh,
yeah, okay. But... he's talking about it's on the right side, but going on to that building was like.
Yeah, same, but this really Nope.
Cause like after going in all these dingy ass buildings, most of them had like windows that were barred up or closed, and glass was still intact. Like it wasn't like all these windows were just busted out, cause they were probably some thick ass plexiglass or some type of stuff like that. But you know, it's hard to breathe like after a while, cause like you get to like the topper floors, and it's just like it's really dingy and like hot. Austin gets so goddamn confused. He goes on this one floor and he's just like, yo, this is the staircase we went on. And then just like, how is this the staircase that we went on if the staircase doesn't even have another floor? And he's just like,
Oh yeah.
we all just look at each other. It's just like,
See,
That
that's
was
the
good.
weird thing about going into buildings like that is you literally have to keep in mind of how to get out afterwards, because it's just as easy to get lost in there.
Yeah,
It's
this guy was the
random
only guy that
mistakes.
actually remembered that. How to get out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dejan's talking about some, yo, I just heard a fucking drip, bro.
Like that ass.
That's like the one noise you would hear in a building that you shouldn't be scared of. Like, oh god, it's a drip. Like,
But after that, we got to the building with no roof, and that's when we like realized, oh, this might be the end of the trip. So we started taking photos.
yeah, it was real refreshing though, because like that's the only building that had like open air and like it was cool in there and like felt good. But it was still summertime, like I said, so it wasn't like cold to begin with. Like it was still pretty moist and hot either way. But like it was just like it was real crazy just doing all that shit, getting in the dome. But like this is when I guess the journey took like kind of like a like I don't know, a weird turn. Like it already felt weird the whole time. Like a lot of red flags just told us we probably should have just turned around. And like what was it, like 6-7 o'clock in the morning? Yeah, it was just before dayrise. And we were coming into Douglas. I guess everyone was, tired from the trip in general. Yeah, we're on the way home. And, like, everybody's tired from the trip. Me and Austin had already been asleep in the back. Dejan had took liberty of drive. I drove already halfway back, by the way. And, like, I gave it back to Dejan, and I was just like, I'm going to go sleep in the back. And, like, he starts driving. And, like, I guess we get into Douglas, and he hits, like, this water hole. And, like, we're coming onto the curve. I don't know if you live in Douglas, but it's in right beside that big-ass radio tower beside the state park. He swerved off, and we ended up hitting the passenger side of a fucking 18-wheeler. And, like, it split the fucking car. Like, when it hit it split the car in half and, like, slung all of us out. And, like, I broke my back, my knee, my ankle, my hip, my face, my chest, and I had a brain bleed. And my boy over here broke his shoulder, his freaking fracture. What was it, a fracture or a hairline fracture in your neck?
I had a fracture in my neck
And like, yeah, and 2 fractures on his hip, and a fucking fracture, like a completely shattered shoulder.
big ass gash in my head.
Yeah, and a fucking nasty ass guy. Man had a big old fucking. He had a Siamese twin on his fucking head for a little while.
Fuck.
That thing was talking to me a few times.
Yeah,
But my boy Dejan, actually, he ended up being fine in the wreck. He was totally fine. But like, me and Austin were both life flighted to what was it? Fucking
Jacksonville, Florida.
yeah, I know it's Jacksonville, Florida, but I forgot what the hell it's called. Yes, no, it's not called Shands. It was called UFC or
Oh,
some
yeah,
shit.
UFC.
UFC or some shit like that. Look it up. I don't know, mother.
This sounds like a fight company. We're in UFC.
Or UFH or something.
I don't know. I was in the hospital. I'm in the hospital, and I woke up 2 days later, and it was Monday at this point, and like they're just like telling me what's happening and everything. I'm like freaking out because like that's my fucking back, man. I'm like I'm not gonna be able to walk and shit. But like ended up later that day trying to walk out and smoke a blunt, which was like outside in the parking lot. Got caught by his dad.
You couldn't have picked a worse time to just walk out there. If you and Jared just waited like maybe 10 minutes, dude, you would have been perfectly fine.
But like fucking we did all that. You know, I wasn't even really supposed to be walking on my back because it was the day after my surgery. But we're sitting in the hospital, and like this lady was changing my bandages, and I'm like freaking out, man, because like this shit actually does hurt. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like that shit hurt. And like the lady's like looking at me, I'm trying not to cry, like I'm laughing through my pain, and she's sitting there like, oh, you shouldn't laugh, you shouldn't be laughed, there's people in way worse conditions. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why would you say that? Like, that's so rude. Like, I just broke my back, bitch. Like, give me a break. And then, you know, the next time I encountered anything wrong was, like, the lady told me that all this shit was my fault, and, like, I shouldn't be, or she's like, you shouldn't even act like that, because this is all your fault anyway, or it's your fault that you're like this. And I'm like, how is that my fault? That, like, yeah, I don't even understand that. Like, you know, that's what blew me. And then, like, you know, we got released from the hospital, and, like, I'd passed out the first time I got home from, like, low blood sugar or some shit, and they weren't telling me shit like that, and I'm like, I could fucking die from shit like that. Like, if I would have been by myself and I would have just fell over, I would have probably fucking died. Like, you know, I'd have probably, like, re-broke my back or some crazy shit.
Thank God for price tag.
Yeah, my boy Price Tag. Free my boy Price Tag, by the way. That's basically the story that we wanted to tell y'all in this podcast. Is like, it was pretty fucked, like, you know, getting in that wreck. Either way, all the stuff that happens, like, I never once thought to, like, you know, blame it on Deshaun or, like, make him feel bad about it, because, like, accidents do happen, and, like, just like this is also, I'm gonna tie this into another situation that's going on. My friend Price Tag that we keep saying, his name is Jerry Price. He's actually in Alma for he got locked up for a wreck that he was in. He has Tourette's in a lot of, like, different things, and, like, he has this motor tic in general, and, like, he likes, like, sometimes he's in and out, like, from different times, and, like, he was driving, and he said that he wasn't paying all too much attention, and, like, maybe that he might have, like, blacked out or something. But he came to, and, like, he still tried to stop, and, like, this lady was driving way too fast on her side, and, like, they've even said that she was driving too fast, wasn't wearing her seatbelt and all these things, and, like, he tries to stop, and either way, she still has, I'm not gonna say whose fault it was, but, like, if it was anybody's fault, because like I'm saying, things happen, but, like, I don't understand why they would try to make it, like, try to take two lives away. Like, they're gonna take his life away when her life did unfortunately get taken, but, like, you know, that's not necessarily his fault, and, like, he's probably gonna spend a lot of time in jail for this, and, like, he's one of the best people I've ever met. He's not like he's a really non-hostile person. He's never been about trying to hurt anybody or make anybody feel bad. And, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's always just trying to help people. So, like, the fact that the police think just because he did this that he is, like, this menace to society and he needs to be put in jail. I understand that there needs to be consequences to things that people do if they do things wrong. But, like, he's not doing this thing, like, it's not like he was drunk or, like, fucking, you know, tripping out on LSD or, like, fucking take shrooms. He's just driving, and, like, you know, the motor tic probably, you know, he's just thinking about something. And at the time, he's working at a welding job where, you know, that fucks with your eyes a lot too. Like, burning your eyes. Like, this man's got, like, fucking burns on his arms and shit from, like, you know, just welding and, like, just the heat in general. Like, fucking, I forgot what they call that, welder's tan or whatever. But, like, yeah, like, just stuff like that, man. Like, just in general, accidents happen, and, like, you should never, like, just make everybody feel bad, or, like, even just blame anybody for it necessarily. Like, I guess if there is somebody to blame them. But in this fact, I think Jerry needs to be released. Like, at least they need to think about what they're doing, because, like,
Jerry's a good guy.
yeah, he's a good guy, man. He doesn't deserve to be in there, fair. Or at least that. Like, especially trying to, like, pin it like he did something wrong. But, yeah. Anyway, guys, welcome, or thank you guys for not welcome. Thank you guys for, like, stopping by. He's a bitch. He's a pussy. I'm a fucking cunt. And we'll see you next time.